So the next, that is the last chapter of forms of business organization is chapter 9, government organization. So government organization, already I've given a few clue about the government organization. That is, we have two different types of organization, forms of this, organization. One is government, that is public enterprises. Another one is private enterprises. So public is nothing but which is owned by the government. Private is nothing but owned by certain individuals. You all know that. So this public enterprise, it gained importance. That is, it is the oldest form of organization. It gained importance in most of the countries in the world. That is, in recent years only it gained much importance. But during 20th century, what happens is, various governments, they started their industries and commercial activities. They started to participate in industrial and commercial activities. That is, previously their role is to maintain the law and order of the country. That is, the government organization, they have to maintain only the law and order of the country. So, but other organizations and all was given to the private. So these private people, what they'll do is, they are profit motive. Okay, so they exploit the consumers. And their main aim is to have a higher rate of profit. So because of this, the development of industries was left into the hands of the private enterprises. So because of this only, what happened, the government intervened, and for the safeguard of the interests of the public. Because of that, government organizations have started. Now most of the industries are government organized. So under that, we are going to see three different companies, three different modes of organization. One is departmental undertaking, second one is public corporation, third one is government company. So all these things are government owned, but in that itself we have three important different types. So under departmental organization is nothing but, it is the oldest form of organization. This departmental organization, it is organized and the financed as well as controlled by a ministry department, certain department who is responsible to the parliament. So it comes under the ministry. Example, if you take electricity department, educational department, so like that, department undertaking will be there. So everything a government cannot do. So certain departments has been taken away by the in the form of departmental form of organization, and it is run as a separate full-fledged ministry. So a subdivision of the department of the government. So example, Indian Railways. So it is managed by the Ministry of Railways. Then Post and Telegraph Services, it comes under the Ministry of Communication. Then All India Radio, Doordarshan. Then so many departmental undertaking are there. So that is called as departmental undertaking. So this departmental undertaking, why it is being started, why a separate department is being given, is nothing but ultimate responsibility. So these people, they have more responsibility. Why? Because it lies with the minister concerned. A minister is responsible for these departments. So for in railways, a minister is responsible. If anything, negative things happens in that, ministry is responsible. So they'll take much responsibility under certain things. So the minister, they give their various authority to various other management levels in the department. In the department undertaking itself, many different levels of management will be there. So this minister will give them the authority, that is responsibility to do the work. Next, the main thing is government financing. In order to take these undertaking, departmental undertaking, how they'll be getting the money is nothing but, it is being financed by the parliament or the state legislature through the annual budget. So you all know that annually a government will put budget for each and every product, isn't it, which is being sold as well as this, which is there being created in India. So under this budget, annual budget, this departmental undertaking, that is the department, separate departments will be getting finance, that is they'll be getting money in order to maintain these departments properly. Next is accounting and audit, all those things and all, that is the accounts and audit and all, procedures and all, like how the government will do or departments will do. They'll be taking a normal budgeting and accounting and auditing procedures will be normal as the government organization, and it is maintained by the civil servants. Civil servants are nothing but those who are working for the government. And many important features are there in departmental undertaking. So I'll give you the three important the distinction between departmental undertaking, public corporation and government company. So next comes the public corporation. So public corporation is nothing but it is a form of public enterprise which is under the government, and it is created as an autonomous unit by a special act of the parliament. So under a special act of the parliament only a public corporation has been created. So under government company, it is formed by getting registered under the Companies Act of 1956. So you all know that Companies Act of 1956, Indian Companies Act of 1956 is there. So under that law, a government company is framed. So the important distinction between these three are given by, I've given you that. First one is the legal status. So you can see that departmental, public and government company I have given. Under legal status, under department undertaking, it does not have a separate legal entity. That is, legal entity is nothing but a common seal must be there, the name of the company, all those things and all, it has to be registered under the Companies Act of 1956. So all these things must be there. For departmental undertaking, it does not have this type of separate legal entity. But for public corporation and government company, it has a separate legal entity. That is, it should have the name, it has to be registered under the Companies Act of 1956, and it should have a common seal. Common seal is a major thing, isn't it, as I've discussed before. Next is the finance. That is how they are getting the money. Under the departmental undertaking, it is by the government through the annual budget, so by the parliament or by the state parliament for the country, state legislature for the state. Then for the public corporation, it is by the government, and if not, they can borrow independently. That is, the government can borrow independently for the running of this public corporation. Then for the government company, it has a separate financing organization, but majority of the funds are created by the shares. So government company, if it is there, means they will be selling the shares to the public. So majority of the funds will be through the shares. So like this, the finance are got by the government company. Then the third one is the ownership. Ownership is who is maintaining it. So under departmental organization, it is maintained by the government official. That is, the civil servants will be there. And for the public corporation, it is managed by the board of directors. That is, a group of people will be there who will be managing that public corporation, who are appointed by the government. The same thing is for the government company also. It is being managed by the board of directors who are appointed by the government. And the last one is accounts and audit. That is how they perform the accounting and auditing and all. Under departmental undertaking, the procedures are applicable to all the government departments. So how the government will do their accounting procedures and auditing and all, it will be done in the government departmental organization. Under public corporation, it has to submit its annual report. So every year they will be submitting their report to the government, as that is on the working, that is how they are working, as well as, and it will be submitted to the parliament. So the same will be submitted to the parliament. The same thing is for the government company also. So they have to submit their annual report to the parliament or to the state legislature, whoever it is. So these are the three important distinctions. Apart from these distinctions, we have certain advantages and disadvantages also. So all these advantages and disadvantages are just coming under these three important distinctions only, children. So because of that only I have given these three important distinctions. So I kindly want you all to go through the advantages and disadvantages of these departmental undertaking, public corporation as well as government company. So that's all about these lesson, children. So, whatever lessons is being taken, I wanted you all to go through the exercises which is given at the book back. Please go through that and mark the answers and start learning. Thank you, children.